Have you ever wondered why the beautiful region of Kashmir, often referred to as paradise on earth, is a bone of contention between two nuclear powers, India and Pakistan? This picturesque land, nestled amidst towering mountains, is more than just a scenic beauty. It's a region steeped in history and conflict, a geopolitical hotspot that has been the subject of dispute for over 7 decades. Kashmir, located at the northernmost point of the Indian subcontinent, holds strategic importance for both India and Pakistan. This has contributed to its becoming a focal point of clashes and disputes. The roots of this conflict can be traced back to the mid-20th century, following the partition of British India. The decisions made during that time, the agreements signed, and the lines drawn have shaped the course of events leading to the present situation. So, let's delve deeper into the history of this conflict and try to understand its complexities. In 1947, a significant event occurred that changed the fate of the Indian subcontinent and Kashmir, the partition of India. This monumental event was a result of the end of British colonial rule and the subsequent division of the Indian subcontinent into two separate nations, India and Pakistan. With the departure of the British, nearly 600 princely states within the subcontinent, including Kashmir, were given a choice. They could either join the newly formed India or Pakistan, or choose to remain independent. This decision was to be made by their respective rulers, taking into account the demographics and the will of their people. Kashmir, a picturesque region nestled in the Himalayas, found itself in a peculiar situation. Ruled by a Hindu king, Hari Singh, but predominantly populated by Muslims, the decision was fraught with complexities. Hari Singh initially chose to remain independent, hoping to maintain Kashmir as a tranquil haven amidst the chaos of partition. However, destiny had other plans. As the partition ignited communal violence across the region, tribal militias from Pakistan's northwest frontier province infiltrated Kashmir, aiming to annex it to Pakistan. This invasion forced Hari Singh to seek India's assistance, thus igniting the Kashmir issue. In exchange for military aid, Hari Singh signed the Instrument of Accession, agreeing to accede to India. This move was made with the understanding that the will of the Kashmiri people would be considered once the region was secure. However, it was a decision that Pakistan did not accept, laying the foundation for a bitter and complex dispute. The Instrument of Accession and its implications became a source of contention between India and Pakistan. Each nation claimed Kashmir as its own, leading to a series of diplomatic spats and military confrontations. The United Nations stepped in, calling for a plebiscite to decide Kashmir's future. However, the conditions for this referendum were never met, further complicating the situation. But the decision was not as easy as it seemed, leading to the First Indo-Pak War over Kashmir. This marked the beginning of a long-standing conflict, which has continued to shape the politics of the region and the relationship between India and Pakistan. The decision of Kashmir's ruler to accede to India led to a series of wars between India and Pakistan, leaving the region divided and the issue unresolved. Our history takes us back to the winter of 1947 to 48, when the First Indo-Pakistani War over Kashmir broke out. Fueled by the controversial decision of Maharaja Hari Singh, the ruler of Kashmir, to join India, the war resulted in a ceasefire agreement brokered by the United Nations, leaving Kashmir divided between the two countries. Fast forward to 1965, another war erupted, this time initiated by Pakistan in a failed attempt to seize control over Kashmir. The war ended inconclusively, yet it exacerbated the underlying tensions. Then came the War of 1971, linked to the Bangladesh Liberation War. But it too had its repercussions on the Kashmir conflict. The most recent conflict, known as the Kargil War, took place in 1999. This time, the line of control, the de facto border between the Indian and Pakistani-controlled parts of Kashmir, was the flashpoint. Despite international pressure and the end of active hostilities, the Kargil War left the region further destabilized. Now, let's talk about the Line of Control, or LOC. It's a military control line, not recognized as an international boundary, but it separates the Indian-controlled territory of Jammu and Kashmir from the Pakistani-controlled territory of Azad Kashmir. The LOC remains one of the most militarized zones in the world, a reminder of the unresolved issues and the simmering tension between India and Pakistan. These wars and conflicts have left an indelible mark on the region's psyche, affecting generations and shaping the narrative of the Kashmir conflict. They are not merely historical events, they are a testament to the unresolved nature of the Kashmir issue. Despite multiple attempts at peace talks, bilateral agreements, and international mediation, the Kashmir dispute remains. The story of Kashmir is a story of a paradise lost, a paradise caught in the crossfire of political ambitions and nationalistic fervor. Despite multiple attempts at resolving the conflict, Kashmir continues to be a disputed territory. Today, the Kashmir conflict has evolved into a complex issue, with internal problems within both Indian and Pakistani-administered Kashmir, as well as the international dimension. This dispute has morphed into an intricate political, social, and cultural quagmire. In the heart of this turmoil lie the people of Kashmir, grappling with challenges on multiple fronts. Human rights have become a significant concern in the region, with frequent reports of violations. These range from alleged unlawful detentions to accusations of suppression of free speech. Terrorism too has cast a long shadow over the region, exacerbating tensions and complicating peace efforts. Both India and Pakistan accuse each other of fostering and supporting terrorist activities, thereby deepening the chasm of mistrust and animosity. Meanwhile, the role of international bodies like the United Nations has been under the spotlight. While these organizations have attempted to mediate and resolve the conflict, their efforts have often been stymied by the entrenched positions of both India and Pakistan. The recent abrogation of Article 370 by India, which provided special status to the region, has added a new dimension to this age-old dispute. This move has been met with mixed reactions, with some seeing it as a step towards integration and others viewing it as an infringement of Kashmir's autonomy. Despite the myriad challenges, there have been glimmers of hope. Dialogues between India and Pakistan, albeit sporadic, have kept the door for negotiations ajar. Grassroots initiatives for peace and reconciliation have also been gaining momentum, highlighting the resilience and indomitable spirit of the Kashmiri people. As we conclude, it becomes clear that the Kashmir conflict is more than just a territorial dispute. It's a complex issue, rooted in history, and entangled in the emotions, identities, and aspirations of the people of Kashmir. The road to peace may be long and arduous, but it is a journey that must be undertaken for the sake of humanity and the future of the region.